Hi Pankhurst, and welcome to your first Talk for Writing lesson this week. So your learning objective today is, can I explain what shape poetry is and identify its key features? Okay. So what is shape poetry? Have a good think. What do you think shape poetry is? Fantastic. A shape poetry is a poem that describes an object, person, or animal and uses the words of the poem to form the shape of what is being described. Okay? I am going to show you some examples of shape poems. As we go through them, I want you to look out for any similarities between the poems. Here's a hint for you. Think about the type of language that has been used. What do you think this poem might be about? Have a look at it. What do you think it might be about? So shall I read it and then we can find out. A huge rock that rumbles and roars, wrecking the ground all around it. It shoots sizzling, steaming, scorching lava like a monster spitting out hot liquid into the air. Like a smoking dragon, it finally starts to calm down. The chaos stops and it goes back to being a deadly and dangerous rock. What do you think it's about? Fantastic. It's about a volcano. And you also know it's about a volcano because of the shape and what it's doing and also what it says in the poem. Yeah. So do you think this poem is effective? How does the shape and layout reflect the subject of the poem? Think about the language used. What effect does it have? Okay, so I do feel like this poem is effective. And I think the shape of the poem and the layout of the poem really reflects the subject of the poem, which is a volcano. And then the language that has been used, it does have a really good effect, okay? Because the language does automatically make me think of a volcano. For example, where the words have been used, where the words, for example, rumbles and roars, wrecking, shoots sizzling, steaming scorching, monsters spitting, liquid. Yeah, all these words do make me does make the poem effective, and it does make you think of a volcano. Okay, now your next poem is this. In a twist, we felt the rain, wind, and hail, and then the thunder and lightning came. The winds gathered up and began to spin like a spinning top, sucking up dust like a vacuum cleaner. The twister went around and around like a merry-go-round. The gusts of air were picking up dust. It continued to roar loudly, destroying everything along the way. Soon it was gone. What do you think this poem is about? Use the words and the shape to help you. Now, this poem is about a tornado, and the shape shows me that it's a tornado because when there's a tornado, it twists and it turns around, okay? And the shape and the words have been used to show that it's a tornado. So this poem is effective, and then the shape and the layout does reflect a tornado. And then the language used also does, because the language that has been used in this poem to show that it's a tornado is thunder and lightning, and we know that happens. There's also winds gathered up and spinning, yeah, sucking up dust like a vacuum cleaner. All these words show you um, the effect of a tornado and also basically describe what a tornado usually does. Okay, then over here you've got Lick the soft, delicious whipped cream as it sits upon a rich chocolatey bath. Sip the comforting liquid, which is as hot as lava, carefully sweet, steamy and smooth as it slowly cools. Gulp it down, down, down. What do you think this poem is about? Use the words and the shape to help you. So this poem is about a hot chocolate, and you know it's about a hot chocolate because hot chocolates usually have whipped cream, a chocolatey bath, okay, and they're usually comforting, they're hot, yeah, they're sweet, steamy, and smooth. So this poem is very effective, and the shape and the layout does show you the subject, does reflect the subject of the poem, and at the same time the language that I've highlighted does have a really amazing does have a really good effect on what the subject is. Okay, then here you've got, when my cat chose to walk her way through the sticky and wet cement we had just poured all over of us just poured all of us groaned. I do think she did it on purpose to leave her mark forever. Her perfectly placed paw print cast in concrete everyone sees, and the chalky train of a one-legged cat sneaking away, fading as she skulked back to whatever cats do. Okay, so the fact that it's a paw print of a cat does reflect the subject of the poem, and it is an effective poem. Okay, the next one. The next slide says, which of these poems was your favorite and why? Write this down on a piece of paper or your whiteboard. So pause the screen now and write down which poem was your favorite and why. And then come back to my lesson when you are ready. Great. So your task today is, did you find any similarities between these poems? These will be our key features. Pause the video and use your best handwriting and make a list with the title of key features of shape poetry. Okay, this will help you when you write your own shape poetry. Pause the screen now and do this task. Now, your task, Pankhurst, should have been, you should have written your own key features. Okay, now that you've completed this task, I am going to show you my key features. Okay, and I want you to compare your list to my list. And if your list is different, then you add in what you have missed out. Okay, I know in a previous lesson we had like this, you got a bit confused, so I'm just going to explain again. Your task is to complete the key features of a shape poetry. Okay, now that you've done your task, I am going to show you my key features, and if you have missed anything out, then add it in. Okay, so the key features of a shape poetry are: it is written in the shape of what the poem is about, it has alliteration, you will find similes, you will find lots of adjective and describing words, and it can rhyme, but it doesn't have to. Okay, now that you've done your list of key features and you've added in anything that you've missed out, please upload your work to Tapestry and I will see you in your next lesson. Bye.